Hi, my name's Pat Knudson. I'm an account manager here at JumpFly.
So, what initially drew you to marketing, and how did that journey lead you to JumpFly?
I would say really the combination of creative outlets as well as analytical outlets that are associated with pay-per-click advertising. I was an economics major in college, so I'm very much like an analytical thinker. But I also enjoy the creativity of my job where, you know, I get to build custom reports and really build out custom campaigns as well. So those two aspects, I would say, analytical and creativity, is really what drew me into this industry.
So, what attracted you to the company itself, and how's your experience been so far?
It's been great. I've been here for 7 years now. Um, I had come from a very large corporation. So coming from that, where I was kind of a small sort of cog in this massive machine, to coming to JumpFly, a much smaller company. It has, a small business kind of feel to it. I found that really energetic and it allows me independence as well. And just overall feeling valued is great and something I didn't quite feel at the last company.
So, what was your first defined role at JumpFly?
I came on as an account manager. I had about 6 years of experience in PPC at that time. So my main role was to, oversee a book of business. And it's definitely developed over the years. I think I've I've started since I started. I was doing audits here at JumpFly, and there was no real process in place. So it was more like look at this Google Ads account and write a bunch of bullet points about how to improve it. So I've really developed that strategy over the years, and taken on a role of an analyst as well in addition to my account manager duties. So I help on the sales side, and then I help our other account managers really manage their businesses as well through my analyses.
So, in the time that you've been here, how has your role evolved over time in terms of responsibilities?
Um, well, I met with leadership and kind of proposed to them one day, like, here's how I think I can add value. And it really was coming up with a more concrete process for the audits themselves. As I said, they were, just a bunch of bulleted notes on a Word doc previously. And now they're really in depth presentations. And I built those out for Google and Microsoft, and helped on the Facebook side, Meta side as well. So my role has really kind of developed into, I'm still an account manager, but the analyst role has really grown and been really exciting for me.
So, tell us about the audit process itself at JumpFly. How long does it typically take, and how do you present the data to prospective clients?
Um, they take a good deal of time. We really try to do our research. We want to look at their website, get an understanding of what their landing pages look like, and even potentially find recommendations on how to improve that. We the audit themselves and how it's presented is kind of like a PowerPoint presentation where we may have 15 to 30 slides that we go through, and all of those are really different segments of the data within the account. We'll look at everything from historical performance to identify trends. We'll review their conversion tracking, and then we even go down to the search term level and assess, what search terms are adding to waste and not really producing anything other than spend. So it comes together, I think, as a really thorough report that leaves a lot of clients coming out of that trusting that JumpFly will be able to do a good job for them.
Now, you do a lot of analyst work for JumpFly's existing clients. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So um, I think there's a proactive and a reactive approach to that side. On a proactive side, our account managers are always looking for creative ways to present recent data to their clients. So I might come up with a custom report in Looker Studio. I've built countless Looker Studio reports over the years. Um, and then a reactive approach would be, a client comes to us with a specific reporting need that our current dashboard might not be able to provide. So I can build them custom reports showing all types of metrics and breakdowns that ultimately will meet their needs and give them the data that they're looking for.
So, going back to some of the audit stuff, what are some of the key skills needed to perform audits on so many different levels? Businesses that are big, small, medium size. Is there a lot of preliminary research involved in all of this?
There's definitely a lot of research involved. You definitely want to understand that particular client's industry at a very high level. Is it an e-commerce website, or are they more focused on driving leads and form fills? And you kind of go from there to really assess what metrics are going to be important to them. For a ROAS goal is not important to a client if their conversion tracking doesn't have value associated with them and their lead gen. So, um, as far as the research on the website goes, we really want to understand, the hierarchy of their website, how it's set up. Are they sending people to the right landing pages? Things like that all go into the research phase. And then the audits themselves, I think, are a reflection of that research and that time that we've put into it.
So, does the size or industry of a client make a direct impact on how you approach these audits?
Yeah, absolutely. I think certain strategies in Google Ads they're not cookie cutter. They're not going to be good solutions for everyone. If you have a smaller business coming on, um, a really robust smart bidding strategy using target ROAS bidding might not be a great solution for them because you need at least 30 conversions a month in order for those smart bidding strategies to really get going. Um, so you definitely need to assess the size of the business. Our sales team tries to get as much information in regards to their goals as they can and relay that to me prior to me conducting the audit as well, which is very helpful.
So, going into the culture and dynamics of JumpFly, what's something about JumpFly's culture that stands out to you?
Um, I would say it fosters an environment of independence, and also uh, they encourage and reward people who come to the table with new ideas. For instance, I came as an account manager, and I feel like I've really developed my role into an account manager, but also I have these analyst duties. And if I hadn't come to them out of fear, then our audit process might not be as good and strong as it is today. So they do try to reward people who are proactive and have ideas, and I think that's all comes with the energy of being in a small business, which is great.
So, why do you think clients choose JumpFly, and what's kept you passionate about working here?
Well, most of our clients, I think, come through as leads on the website, or a lot of them come through referrals of existing clients. So that gets them in the door. And I think they get a feel of our resident expertise in the industry. And then they start talking with our sales team, and hopefully in the audits, they get a good idea of our account manager expertise. And I think that's ultimately what really separates us from other companies. Um,
So, strong communication is vital for account management. What's your approach in keeping client and internal communication smooth and effective?
well, I think you have to have the communication for one, whether it's through routine calls or on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. We want to really accommodate to what the client's needs are in that aspect. And then when you do have those calls, you kind of have to have a game plan going in. You want to have an agenda. You want to be able to detail recent performance, talk about your optimizations, as well as what you're planning to do going forward.
What's one thing about your day-to-day life and pay-per-click and just marketing in general that might surprise somebody who aren't in the advertising world?
I would say the amount of Chrome tabs I have open on a given day might be anywhere up 50 to 60. We're using Google Ads, of course, but we're also using Microsoft Ads, Google Analytics. Our own JumpFly Client Center is always up, Gmail, Google Sheets. There's a lot of different tasks that we have to juggle, and I think it might be eye-opening to a casual observer.
So we have to ask this. What is it like being a loyal St. Louis follower in rival Chicago?
It's it it's been an experience, I will say. No, it's been great. I'm raising my two boys as they've kind of gravitated towards the St. Louis teams as well, so I kind of feel more sorry for them as they go through school. But overall, it's been, I think, a really friendly rivalry in all sports. So it's good.
What's a piece of advice you'd give to somebody starting out in PPC or digital marketing in general?
Um, I would say be your own best teacher. Don't rely on others to teach you what they know. I came in at I was an account coordinator. Very entry level position when I first started in the industry in 2011. And I taught myself at the time Microsoft Excel, how to be really strong at that, reporting tools and things like that. Just really digging into Google Ads and understanding all the hundreds of different sections in the interface. And then one day it kind of just clicks and you feel like, yeah, I am, an expert at this now. So teach yourself, and also don't be afraid to be curious, and ultimately you'll be rewarded with that in time.
Where do you see the future of PPC marketing going, and how do you plan to stay ahead of that curve?
Well, when I think back about 13 years ago when I started and how manual it was, we were in control of everything. From keyword bids to device level bids. And over these last 13 years, it's definitely trended more towards automation, smart bidding strategies in favor of manual bidding strategies. All these things, I think we were hesitant to adopt at first, but we weren't afraid to test them. And I think our confidence as an agency in these automation strategies has grown. And that's certainly where it's headed. It's going to continue that way, especially with the implementation of, artificial intelligence baked into all of these platforms. So it's just going to keep advancing, and we have to stay on top of that by understanding what new sort of levers are out there for us to push. And we have to be able to adapt in this industry because it's constantly changing. And usually, Google and all the platform corporations at the top are the ones dictating the change. Ultimately, I think, though, there's always going to be a need for businesses to drive traffic to their site through Google Ads, through Google, and that expertise needs to be in place. So, I could see it shifting more towards a consultative type relationship, but we still want to be able to be really effective leaders of those programs, and definitely think JumpFly is doing an awesome job of that.
So you talk about AI technology, automation. How is this playing a role in how you audit clients? Is that kind of evolving too with all this automation and AI? Do you see that changing too, the way you approach audits over the next year, 2 years, whatever?
As far as my audits go, I keep them pretty manual. Um, there have been advancements in reporting and utilizing certain programs like Looker Studio to help build some of the visual nature of our audits, like the charts and the graphs. Those kind of fall outside of the realm of AI. I wouldn't say I use that too much in my audit process. What I see when I'm doing audits is all of the AI and automation that's within the accounts now. So I had to figure out how to accurately audit a PMAX campaign where it's kind of notoriously a black box and they don't give you search term data quite as accurate as a traditional search campaign. Um, how to really talk about smart bidding and what it does and understanding that in detail so that if I see someone's using a bid strategy that doesn't make sense for them, I can kind of eloquently describe to them why another strategy would be a better choice for their business. So
Now, do you at least see a difference, say, like a year ago versus now, in what data you can get from a PMAX campaign? Like, if you're trying to present to a client, hey, we noticed these insights, would you say that's already gotten more sophisticated? Do you seeing it getting more sophisticated? What's your take on that?
yeah, I think when it started, it was nothing. And Google has slowly released more and more information and data. The search insights is something that wasn't available at all. And now they at least give you some search term data that we can review. So if I look at a PMAX campaign and go through their search terms, it's a lot of times really easy to spot that you're targeting way too broadly here. We need to improve your audience signals to really hone in, get you in front of the right people.
Pat, thank you.
Thank you.